Okie doke, so here is what you are going to need for your chunky knit Valentine's wreath, heart wreath. So I've just used cardboard, some thick cardboard, and I've sellotaped very fancily 2 bits together just to make it a bit thicker and a bit sturdier, although we will be knitting around here, so that will give it some more strength too. And I've chosen, of course, pink and red, so I've just got some scraps of either. We're not going to be using huge amounts. I'll give you the exact amount in the pattern description, and we're going to use them both at the same time. So you can choose any colours, or you can do 2 strands of one colour if you'd like. This is all you need. You can also get like a metal heart kind of ring from like a hardware store and stuff, or a garden centre if you find something like that, but if not, cardboard's where it's at. Okay, first thing, I'm going to film my hands so I can show you doing it properly. Okay friends, this is everything we need to make our super cute chunky knit Valentine's wreath. Like I said, I'm using the cardboard that I cut out with dodgy sellotape, but you can use a metal little wreath kind of frame that you can get from a hardware store. Anyway, and then about 100 grams of our chunky funky yarn, and we're doing it 2-stranded. So you can choose any colours you like, or you could just do one colour but double stranding it. And I took the yarn from the 2 balls and made it into 1 ball just for ease, and it's about, I like pulled my arms to the side. I kind of measured about 10 of my double arm widths, but I can't do that on camera, so you can just imagine that, but about 100 grams is about perfect. All right, and if I haven't mentioned previously, as you can see, there are no knitting needles. We are doing hand finger knitting. So if you've never done that before, do not stress. We're kind of just recreating the knitting process without knitting needles. So it's a bit of fun. Let's give it a go. I'm not super proficient at it, so we'll just be doing this together. Anyway, we're going to start with just a knot. So coming into the bottom left corner, just tie a knot. Is that going to go the right way? No, I kind of want to tie a knot this way because I want a tassel. Why am I being so ridiculous? It was not to be able to tie a knot. Okay, so no, that's not right. I want the tassels on the other side. Why am I doing this? Why am I being like this? Okay, go in from the top and then just tie a normal knot. Is it doing the same? Why? Okay, this is actually all good to do. I did it just before, 2 seconds ago. Okay, so maybe come from the bottom and we'll tie the knot. Is that how it's going to be? Come from the bottom. Okay, there we go. I'm only saying that because I'm just having a mare, because I want these to be on this side, because I think if you want to have tassels at the bottom, and you don't have to have tassels at the bottom, but if you want them, make sure you tie the knot on that side. Okay, so now we've just got a regular old knot, and here is our ball of yarn, and we're going to start by passing through. So you've got your tassels at the bottom, your ball of yarn at the top, and I'm going to start by passing this under, so it's underneath, because what we're doing is we're pulling up and under. So it's come over the top, through the middle of the heart, and up over to this side, and then we're going to create a loop at the back of the heart like that, and we're going to stick our forefinger and our thumb through that loop. So you've got a loop at the back of the heart going from the left to the right, and your fingers are through. Then you're going to take it with your thumb and forefinger of the other hand and push through and grab. So you're going to pass it into your left hand with the pinchy fingers, and you're going to make another loop there. So essentially knitting is just looping really, or knotting. So we're just making little knots with loops. So once we've done that, we're going to put our finger back in there, and we're just going to make sure it's nice and tight. You don't really want it loosey-goosey as you go around. So then we've got it nice and tight, and we're just going to squeeze our thumb in. Right, now this is where I was saying we might come back and forth through the heart with our ball of yarn, which is a bit frustrating, but it just makes it much neater, and so we don't get coiled up. Okay, so we've got our fingers through in our pinchy grip, and we've brought our yarn to the back again, because we're going to go under and we're going to bring another bit to go into our pinchy fingers, and we're going to make a loop with that as well. Okay, so then we do want to make sure, like I said, let's go back in with a finger so we can pull it nice and tight, and then we sneak our thumb in. Okay, now our yarn is going back that way so that we can go under again, and then we're going to pass it into our pinchy fingers. There we are. And you can play around with your double loop. You can play around if you always have the, say, one color on the right and one color on the left, or if you don't mind, then that doesn't matter. Okay, then we're pulling it through to make it nice and tight, and then we're going to sneak our thumb in, and then remember we're always going back to the top. So we're always going back to the top so we can pull under to pass it through into our pinchy fingers again. So this is our knitting / knotting. So, and then we're going to pull it tight onto our pointer finger again, and then just slot our thumb in. And remember, we pass it back through to the top so we can go under. And we pass it into our pinchy fingers. Put our finger in to pull it nice and tight. And if you can see, we're starting to form the beautiful knitted braid almost up the side, and I have not made sure that my yarn colors are on the same side each time, so it's kind of got a bit of a random look here. But if you are someone who wants it to be the same, make sure, say, you always have your pink on the right and red on the left to get oh, I've alternated, so maybe I'll attempt to keep alternating. Okay, so remember, finger in to pull it a bit tight, then squeeze the thumb in, and we bring it back to the top so we can go under again. Then we push it through, pass it to our pinchy fingers. Through it goes. Oh, it's got a bit caught, so just be careful there. And then pulling it tight on my finger. Then sneak my thumb in. I'm going to bring it up and over again to the back. Pulling it through and passing it to my pinchy fingers. Then I'm sticking my finger in to pull it tight. And I'm passing it back through, so that I can go behind, sneak my thumb in so I can make those pinchy fingers, and pulling it through to a loop again. You can see the braid is going up the side there. Okay, now I've snuck my thumb in. Remember to keep kind of pulling it tight. You only just want your thumb and forefinger in, but then remember, have to bring it up and over again, because we're going from behind. Always from behind, pull it to the front, into our pinchy fingers, and to make another loop. We put our finger in to pull it tight. And meanwhile, you can kind of, I always use the word zhuzh it up so it's on the edge there, because you want the braid to run along the edge of the heart. Okay, squeeze the thumb and forefinger in, take the yarn back. And from the back, we're bringing it up and passing it into our pinchy fingers. And we just put one finger in to pull tight, squeeze our thumb in, pass it back up and over. So we're going to do this until we get to the middle of the top middle of the heart. So we go back around. So yeah, if you're here and you pass through, obviously that's going to be not attached, so you have to make sure you're bringing it under to pass into pinchy fingers from the bottom. Like that, and I'm putting my finger through, bring my ball of yarn up. So we're just going to move our way along, keep pulling it tight, and then I squeeze my thumb in, bring it to the back so it comes from under, pass it over again, pass it into my pinchy fingers, form a loop, pull that loop tight, so you kind of just get into the flow of it. And I am going to push it all tighter together, because I don't really want to see my cardboard underneath. That's not really a good look. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Okay, we're at the back, so we go under and up, squeeze my fingers in, pull through a loop, put my finger in to tighten it, have to bring this up into the back again. All right, squeeze my thumb in, bring through from under, pass it in for a pinch, put my finger in. Yeah, and just kind of keep zhuzhing it so that you don't see the cardboard. I potentially could have done this a bit tighter here, but we'll just go as we go and see how it ends up in the end. Okay, so I pull it tight on my finger, sneak my thumb in, I've got to go back, top, and around. Okay, so I'm just going to leave you guys doing that, and I might fast forward this through and meet you in the top middle. Okay. And if your ball gets a bit unruly before I do that, you can pull that through a bit more so it doesn't get lost, and kind of re-roll up your ball, which is what I'm going to do right now, just so that it's easier to pass through. There we go. And then I stick my fingers back in, stick my finger back in, pull it tight, and keep going on the process from behind. Pull through into my pinchy fingers, tighten it up, and keep kind of squishing it down, then over from the bottom into my pinchy fingers, finger through, pull it nice and tight. Oh, this is looking so cute. Okay, then from behind. Yeah, if one is not looking so tight, I just did that there. You can just kind of go back. I just took my finger out and that undid one. Put my finger back in, pull it tighter, and then go again, because I was just feeling the one beforehand wasn't so tight and it was giving it a bit of a puffed up vibe. There we go. It's so cute. Okay, so you've made it to the top middle. And what we're going to do now is cut a bit of a tail. So grab a scissors, cut a bit of a tail and pull it all the way through. So you kind of bring that over to this side. So we're going to forming a little knot there. So that is one side. And we are going to, you could just keep going around, but I want to mirror image it. So I'm going to start again down the bottom right and make my way up to the top again. And you can just kind of zhuzh it around so you're not seeing any of the cardboard. And then this is the braided edge, which is looking so cute. So yeah, meet you back down here. We're going to do another knot. I'm going to try and do it where we keep the tail, have another tail about the same length. So I'm going to try and just do that without being silly. Did I do it? Yes, yes. Okay, yay. I'm so stoked I did that without mirroring it. Okay, so I've tied another knot on the other side. And I've got a bit of a tail coming down because I think that will look really cute to have a tassel. Okay, and now we're going to do it on the opposite side. So get your brain ready to work, my friends. Okay, so we are taking it from under. Taking it from under, and then we are going to form a loop here on this side now. And we're going to bring this up and into our pinchy fingers and pinch on this side now. So do that. Oh no, we'll bring that up and over because that's what we'll be needing to be doing anyway. So now we're going to have our right fingers. So this feels really weird to me, but it's probably really good brain training. So then I bring it up and behind. So I'm doing exactly the same thing as on the other side, but mirrored. So bring it up. Oh, I've made that that loop too big. I really just want it just to have my fingers squeezed in. So I'm passing it into my pinchy fingers on this side. So it does feel a bit strange doing it on this side, but we will get there. Finger back in to pull it tight. We want to all push it through so that it's nice. Okay, nice and tight. Squeeze my thumb in. Oh no, I've got to bring it up and over. Yep, it's all come apart again. I might do another roll because it really does make it a bit of a pain in the butt when it's all come apart. So do this. Back into a nice neat ball. Okay, so I'm coming, put my finger back in. Make the pinchy, do it nice and tight, make a quick pinchy finger, bring it underneath and up into my, that's finding it hard not to do a big pinchy finger on this side. Okay, here we go, bringing my loop up, put my finger in to make it tight, and then remember I bring my ball up and over again, so I'm always coming in from the bottom, bring it up and over, into my pinchy fingers to pinch a loop up, finger in, pull it nice and tight, ball goes up and over. So you get into kind of a rhythm with this, just like any kind of knitting. Bring it up into the pinchy fingers. So I've got a loop, put my finger in. And like I said, you could be doing this much neater, so you always had the pink and red, so it went pink, red, but I'm just going avant-garde here, and up and over, put my pinchy fingers in, coming from the bottom, up into my pinchy fingers, put my finger in, tighten it up and through, so it comes from behind, up into my pinchy fingers. Woo. Finger in. Okay, so essentially we're doing the same up the side. Make sure you really squidge it to the bottom because you don't want any of that showing, but I will show you some little tricks to make it nice and neat at the bottom as well. So we're just going to keep going up and I'll meet you again at the top. Okay, so we're coming to the middle again, so I'm just going to do maybe a few more, just kind of keeping this out the way. Make sure I'm grabbing this, not the other one. A few more because I really don't want to leave any bald patches around here because that would not be a good look. So it might look a bit cramped up the top, but we just certainly don't want any bald patches of the cardboard. Do my pinchy fingers, pinch through, loop. Okay, so now I think, let me have a look. So, oh, do I want to go one more? I might go one more. Because I am going to tie it off like I did the other side, so I think one more would be worth it. Up through, and then yeah, chop it off. Oh, mine's got candy cane styles, and then you pull the knot through, so it tightens all up. See, it kind of pulls in. And then we're just going to pull these down. Okay, so got 2 knots. Okay, so we've basically finished. Now we are just going to do some of, so as you can see, we've got beautiful braiding going along each side, and so now I'm just going to show you a few tips and tricks for how to finish it to make it look super cute. And of course we can hang it, so we've left some good tails there, so we can hang it as a Valentine's wreath. Okay, so for the finishing touches, so as you can see, this kind of comes down to the front, so I'm actually going to pull this one down, and I want to kind of bring these along just so that it's going down to that front bit. I want to kind of pull that down because I really want there to be none of the cardboard showing. So I'm going to pull that down and I'm going to bring it to the back. I'm going to get my darning needle and try and thread these both through. Actually I might do one at a time because I just, as amazing as these darning needles are, I think they only fit one at a time. And I'm just going to push it through, so this is the back of my heart, push it through about that much, just to kind of, and I'm gonna make sure that it's covering, oh that's not gonna, snip that off. I'm gonna make sure that it's covering the end of the edge of the heart there. Okay, so I've pulled that through, and then I'm gonna do the same with the pink one. Okay, I'm gonna push that through. So this is going to be the back. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to chop those off there. And then when we flip it around the front, we're just going to make sure, that's the great thing about this wool, is you can kind of zhuzh it around. And then we're going to do the same with these other ones. We're going to bring those through on this side. So under on this side, one at a time. So this is, like I said, this is the back of your heart. So you're just tidying up by going through however many you want to do and bringing it through. Don't pull too tight because you don't want it to misshape the heart. There we go. Through like that. Oop. And then just do a little chop. And then when you turn onto the front side, you can kind of smudge everything around to fit. Okay, now the bottom. So you might want some tassels. You might even want to add some more tassels. So if you did want to add some more tassels, what you could do is you could measure those up twice and kind of one by one thread some more tassels through. So go through like that. Kind of go in behind those ones. These look quite cute. To add an extra, if you're going the tassel direction, and then chop down there, and then do the same with the red. Just make it a bit more tassely if that's the look that you're going for. You know, if you're going to do something, you know, do it. Don't do half-assed. So we go hard with the tassels if we're going to be tassely. Bring it right through and chop this side. And then just obviously, oh, I've done a bit, maybe just trim them all to the same length. That's if you're going tassely, which is quite a cute look. Or if you're not going tassely, what you would just do is take out those extra tassels and get your tails. Make sure, like I said, you've pulled this all through, and then we're just going to do a thread through on the back of here. So I'll give that a go. So I'm gonna pull these ones to this side, almost like that, and then wrap them back around, just so we really cover that edge. So these ones are coming from here, so I'm going to wrap them around the corner of that and back up through the same side. So I'll just push them up through, hopefully through that many there, and make sure it sits over that. And then this pink one to do the same. So we've kind of, this is definitely optimized for one side looking good and the other side not looking so fab, but that is a-okay, I think. And chop them off. Okay, and then we'll do the same on the other, crossing over like this. And then back up their side that they came from. So we'll go under this, I think, and pop that out here. Wait, make sure it's on the edge there. And then the red one. This is just a bit of fun, guys. This is just showing what you can do with scraps of yarn. Do some fun holiday projects. So you're not out there spending money on Hallmark cards. How cute does that look? And I've got a bit of leftover yarn, so maybe more like 80 grams in the end, but oh my goodness, it is looking so cute. Here is a Valentine's wreath made with chunky, funky wool. Yay!